Hi everyone, this is Daniela. Today's video is going to be a kitchen deep clean, declutter, and organize with me. I hope that the video inspires you to tackle those often forgotten areas of your house that are in need of a deep clean. Let's get into the video. Before I can get into the deep cleaning, I'm just going to do a quick surface clean of my kitchen so I have some clean counter space to work with as I'm decluttering and organizing my fridge and some of my cabinets. The first deep cleaning task that I'm going to do is to clean these thermoses. If you can see that ring around the bottom, it's just a coffee stain that I can't get to with my brush. And so I'm using Bottle Bright tablets. I don't use them all the time, but when I do, it's really effective in getting those stubborn stains, but also getting rid of any residual smell from coffee or tea. So it makes it really easy to clean. You'll see in just a second after I've let them soak for about 20 minutes, all I have to do is dump it and rinse it, and without even scrubbing, those coffee stains are gone.
Close your eyes, get out of your skin. Only this matters, let it in. If I could, I would be right here with you. In this world of ticking clocks, I hope I'm getting through. So close your eyes. Do you feel the same? Only thing that matters, without change, I will let you into my mind's deep.
The second deep cleaning task that I'm going to get done is really thoroughly cleaning out the refrigerator. So what I'm doing first is I'm getting a Trader Joe's insulated bag and I'm filling it with the ice packs that we normally use for our lunches. And I'm going to put the raw meat in there just because I really don't want to risk it, especially with the raw meat. And I'm going to try to put anything perishable back in the fridge as soon as possible. But in the meantime, while I'm cleaning out those shelves, that bag will suffice. Here's a close-up of the empty fridge, and you can see all of the crumbs that are underneath the drawers and also on the shelves. I did not know how bad it was until I emptied it all out, so I'm so glad that I'm getting to this deep cleaning task. It is much overdue.
It's funny how it all played out. Broken dreams seldom get realized. For me, you were a part of life that escaped and left me outside. Who could see the will of time, and that you were still a friend of mine? Our story wasn't over yet, and no one can tell what's coming next. The journey is not ours to control. The journey is not ours to control. I'm glad that it is so. I'm lucky it is so. I'm running at the speed of light, trying to seize everything I desire. But as strange as it may sound, when I'm still, things seem to come around. The journey is not ours to control. The journey is not ours to control.
you can see the main parts of the fridge are nice and clean and ready to be organized with our food. Again, I want to leave it outside of the fridge for as short amount of time as possible, so I'm putting it all back in. Most of it is self-explanatory, but I am putting the herbs, I'm just wrapping them in some paper towels so that they're not suffocated in these bags from the grocery store. And I'm organizing my veggies in the right drawer. I'll put the fruits in the left. And then in the bottom drawer, I'm going to put our raw meats. And they're all going to be wrapped individually in plastic, just so that I reduce the risk of spreading any germs from the raw meat. I also put cheese products in the bottom drawer, but I bought a separate bin so that I could keep the cheese separate from the raw meat. And again, the raw meat is all individually wrapped in plastic as well. If you're wondering where I got these containers, I got them from TJ Maxx and they're on sale for $3.50, so really inexpensive, and it did a really good job of compartmentalizing that bottom drawer again to reduce the risk of germs spreading around from that meat. And other things in my fridge that you might notice, I have some wine containers that stack, which is really nice if you are a fan of chilled wine, bubbly, or whites. So we usually keep our white wine in there or occasionally a bomber of beer. And then we also have a can dispenser because we are ridiculously addicted to LaCroix, so we always have to have a supply on hand. So that saves some room in our fridge and makes it a little bit easier to access.
The journey is not ours to control. The journey is not ours to control. I'm glad that it is so. I'm lucky it is so. I'm glad that it is so. I'm lucky it is so.
I'm also cleaning all of the bins that attach to the door. Some of them weren't too bad, but there are others, as you can see from the video, that have a lot of sauce or crumbs in them. So I'm giving those a good scrub down, and I'm going to dry all of those and put them back in the fridge and try to put our condiments back in some semblance of order. Here's a look at the finished fridge. It's really clean. It still looks pretty full, but we haven't meal prepped yet, which is why it seems pretty packed. And it feels so nice to have all those crumbs and spills cleaned out and to have my fridge organized and to know that there's nothing in here that is expired and I know what we have and where everything is. Next is the freezer. This is the first time that I've had a bottom drawer freezer. I don't really know how I feel about it. Maybe it's just because I'm not used to it, but it seems to get so much more unorganized than when I had a top fridge. And so you can see there's a mountain of food that I'm pulling out from here, and I didn't even know half of it was in there, to be honest. So I'm so excited that I get to organize it right now. And before I go ahead and organize it, I am going to wipe out both the top and bottom drawer of the freezer because there are a lot of crumbs and somehow a hair is in there. So really overdue for a cleaning. I bought these black bins from the Dollar Tree, so really inexpensive way to organize the freezer. And then I used a couple of other bins that I already had on hand that I'm repurposing for the freezer. I had 3 bags of edamame. I don't know the last time I ate edamame, but for some reason I keep buying it. So hopefully now that it's organized, I'll actually get around to eating it and I won't buy anymore. And then I'm just trying to organize the rest of the food. I'm grouping our frozen meats. And then in a separate bin, I am grouping any frozen carbs like tater tots and frozen gnocchi, stuff like that. And then I'm gonna organize them in the freezer. Hopefully this compartmentalization will help me to, again, remember what I have already and to just access it easily. And I'm going to make sure to put on the top our fruit, stuff that we access every day, our freezer packs for our lunch, again, something that we access every day, and beer steins, which we don't access every day, but frequently enough that they justify a spot on the top of the fridge. And then you can see all of the bins at the bottom. It's still really full, but at least I know what I have and it's organized so I know where it is. Next up, I'm going to declutter and organize my cabinets. I'm going to focus specifically on 2 cabinets in my kitchen where I store food and then my cabinet where I store spices and medicines. And this corner cabinet is a really weird shape, so it's really difficult to keep organized. I have one Lazy Susan at the very top and that has worked pretty well. So I went ahead and I bought a second one and I'm pretty excited. I'll show you in a second how it turned out, but everything is much more accessible. It's still not perfect because again, this cabinet is a really awkwardly shaped cabinet, but it's one of those things where I'm making the best of the space that I have and at least I know what I have now and it's easily accessible either in a bin or in the Lazy Susan. And the first step is to consolidate all of the ingredients that I have. If you see, I have multiple bags of jasmine rice, walnuts, 3 bags of coconut flakes, which I don't eat frequently enough to justify having 3 bags of those, but I'm going to consolidate those together so that I remember that I have them and I don't buy any more.
This time of the year, I can't stop asking why I'm struggling to stay. It's a mystery why I'm here. I guess guess I'm just too tired of fighting what you say. As we're growing older, darling, I begin to understand it all. It's me that I'm fighting now that I see what is hiding underneath my skin. And I'm always sorry to bring you in my fall. Yeah, with my fall. Feelings like this never end. We have to try and keep the mood up. Stay. I know that sometimes we pretend to love each other like we used to, but it's all good in the end. 'Cause as we're growing older, darling, love is growing stronger, 'cause it's me that I'm fighting now that I see what is hiding underneath my skin. And I'm always sorry to bring you with my fall. Yeah, it's me that I'm fighting now that I see what is hiding underneath my skin. And I'm always sorry to bring you with my fall. Oh, with my fall. Leaves turning yellow, I'm back where we first met. It is raining, but all I can see is the summer we spent. The letter in my wallet, I'll keep it till we meet again. You should never doubt it's true. I am not for good at you. You're the one on my mind.
I got this little basket at the Dollar Tree. It's a little bit small for my onions, but it did the trick and it's breathable for them. And here's a final look at the cabinet. I have my Lazy Susan at the top with mostly sauces. And then I also have my bin with Mexican ingredients like chiles and some other spices that I don't use on a daily basis. And then I have a bin here with chia seeds, cacao powder, coconut flakes, stuff that I would use probably for smoothies. And then again, that basket with onions and garlic. And the basket on the first shelf is just breakfast items, so granola and oatmeal and a little bit of snacks in this tiny basket, which I'll probably have to upgrade to a larger one. And then some of the snacks that didn't fit are just in the back on the first shelf. As you can see, I've moved on to my spice and medicine cabinet now, and I'm going to start off by just emptying it all out and cleaning off the shelves. But another big thing that I have to do is clean off this spice rack that I have. It's a little shelving unit for spices. And I didn't realize how dirty it was until I took all of the spices off and took this out of the cabinet. So I really needed to give it a good scrub down.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out, down with my own doubts. Be free.
One of the other main things that I have to do in this cabinet is consolidate my spices. You can see I have a bunch of bags. I usually just buy a spice once and I'll just reuse that same jar, and I'll replenish it by buying bulk at Sprouts. So I have a lot of bags of spices that either didn't fit entirely into the jar, or I got lazy and just didn't consolidate them when I got home. And I have them in these little white bins from Target, which worked well for a while, but then I started accumulating so many bags that they just got lost in that little bin. So I ended up accidentally getting duplicate spices in bulk from Sprouts. So now I'm taking the time to consolidate everything. And for the spices that I don't have jars for, ones that I use really infrequently, I keep those in the bags and I filed those into that little white bin. And now that there are less bags in general, it'll be easier to find those spices when I do need them.
The lights out, down with my own doubts. Be free with me. Be free. Be free with me. Be free. Not looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche. We're on the run, this is what we waited for. Oh, yeah. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out, down with my own doubts. Be free with me. Be free. Be free with me. Be free.
So now I'm done cleaning out the cabinets. I'm going to give you a quick look at two of my other cabinets that are pretty well organized. My Tupperware lids I use on a daily basis, as well as the tea and the oil. So I don't really need to get to those now, but I just wanted to give you a quick look inside. Next, I'm moving on to my dishwasher, and I pulled out the filter to clean it out. It's pretty grimy. I think it's mainly just soap buildup and potentially a little bit of food. And to be honest, I did clean out one of my hairs from that filter. Don't know how it got in there, but my hair seems to get everywhere, so that's par for the course. And I'm gonna give the dishwasher a quick wipe down with some all-purpose cleaner. It's really not that dirty. I rinse all my dishes before I put them in the dishwasher, which I know technically you're not supposed to do. I did not grow up in a house with a dishwasher, and I think that contributes to why I have no trust in the dishwasher. So I basically clean my dishes first, but I still like putting them in there. I feel like it really sanitizes them. But all that to say that the dishwasher isn't too bad, but I am glad that I'm giving it this deep clean because I do know even when I rinse my dishes that it does benefit from a clean every once in a while. I'm finishing off the dishwasher by using this Lime Shine dishwasher cleaner, which you just sprinkle in the bottom of the dishwasher and then run it on a normal cycle. To be honest, didn't smell the best, but it did the job, so I'm happy with it. Next, I'm giving my trash can a scrub down, which I usually do depending on any spills that I might have once a month, sometimes more often if I have a spill. And I'm first starting out with all-purpose cleaner, and then I'm moving on to the Clorox compostable wipes just to kill any germs or bacteria that might be in there. I'm spraying my oven down with some Easy Off fume-free cleaner, and the glass door of the oven has some baked on grease that is pretty tricky to get off, so I made sure to spray that as well, and I'm gonna let that sit while I clean the rest of the kitchen.
I know you tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright. There's no one like you, my little girl. Your eyes so blue under those brown curls. Soon you're on your way. Promise me that you know the world is yours. Strike them with your glow.
I've moved on to cleaning the top of the fridge, the fronts of the cabinets, and also the tops of the cabinets. When we first moved in, I had to spend about an hour cleaning the tops of the cabinets. I don't think that they'd ever been cleaned, so I had to work really hard using Goo Gone to get off all of that grease and just sticky residue. So right now, I luckily can just use some all-purpose cleaner. It's not too bad, but I'm making sure to keep up the tops of the cabinets so that I don't ever have to go through that mess again.
Be good, be fine. Live your life, dream big, don't forget to be kind. Live, it's your life. Rocks are meant to be picked up and thrown. New ideas can be pleasantly overgrown. But you know where to go if you follow that heart.
Next, I'm cleaning out our microwave. I'm making sure to take out the microwave dish. We also have a metal rack in our microwave, so it's two-tiered, which really freaked me out when we first moved in, but I Googled it and it works, and I did not explode the microwave. I'm also taking out those vent covers underneath the microwave and giving those a scrub down as well.
You sold me out, I did not notice. It's been going on for a while.
I'm now cleaning the stainless steel and I'm using a new product. It's Barkeeper's Friend Stainless Steel Cleaner. I really like the powder Barkeeper's Friend for my porcelain sink and also some other tasks like cleaning stainless steel and the stovetop. So I was excited to see this product. However, I don't recommend it. It felt like a lot more work. The instructions say to spray it directly onto the surface and wipe it down in the direction of the grain and then to buff it out with a clean rag. So it just seemed like more steps and unnecessary. And I do think that it left my stainless steel appliances a little bit streakier than the Wyman's, even though I had to put more work into cleaning them. Another thing was that it dripped. So as you could see in the first part of the clip, it dripped onto the stove and the Wyman's doesn't really do that. So I'm going to try to get through this bottle, but it's not something that I am going to repurchase. I cleaned my glass cooktop off with the Wyman's glass cooktop cleaner, their scouring pad, and I started it off with the Wyman's glass cooktop razor, but I realized that it didn't really have anything caked on, so that part wasn't really necessary, but it is a deep clean after all, so I got it done. And the stovetop looked pretty great afterwards. However, when we first moved in, there was this white cloudy surface on the front left burner, and I don't know how to get that out. So if any of you have tips, please leave it in the comments below.
It was all pretend. I can find a higher line over the clouds above. I can find a
The Easy Off has been sitting in the oven long enough that I can now scrub it down and wipe it all out. And this is another product that I just won't be repurchasing. It does do a really great job at making it easy to wipe off all of the grime. It basically slides right off, but I think unless you have a particularly dirty oven, then it's not really necessary. Next time I clean the oven out, I'm just going to be using baking soda and more natural ingredients. It was so hard to wipe this product out of the oven and it was difficult to see where the product was until it had dried. So I had to give it some more time after wiping it out the first time to dry completely, and then I could go back in there and see where there were white residue marks and wipe it out even more. I really wanted to be sure that it was completely clean of the product before cooking in there. Again, I know that product is full of harmful chemicals, so I needed to be extra sure. And next time, I think it's just going to be easier for me to, again, just use natural products like baking soda. my very last cleaning task for today is giving the sink a thorough clean. So I'm going to take out the sponge holder and clean behind it. I'm also going to be using the Glisten garbage disposal cleaner, which you'll see in just a moment. On a day-to-day basis, I just use a Grove Collaborative brand garbage disposal cleaner, which I really like. If you watched my last whole house clean with me, you'll know the scent is really lovely and I think it does a great job. But because today's video is a deep clean, I am using the Glisten product, and it creates blue foam that comes up on both sides of the sink, which is really satisfying to watch and just makes me think that it's doing a really good deep clean job. Whether or not it actually is, I'm not sure, but it does seem to do a good job, and it is very satisfying, like I said, to watch. And then I'm going to finish off the sink by using Barkeeper's Friend to make sure that I'm getting any of those scuff marks that I left behind by cleaning the oven grates, and also any food residue that might be in there. And that is it for this video. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful or motivating, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel and like this video. It would really help me out a lot. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.